record. All right, we are recording. So good morning, everybody. I'm honored to be here and do the team call this morning. I filled my cup with, I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys if that's okay. There we go. Anyway, I filled my cup at Summit, and this was one of the workshops that was offered to us in the Leadership One classes, and I was just totally awed by this class. And the reason I was is I've been at this a long time, and being at it a long time, you constantly can be told, just go tell your story, just go be you. And you cannot seem sometimes to wrap your head around it, no matter how many different kind of ways that people tell you to go do that. I'm the type of person that really just needed it broke down step by step. So let me share my screen. Oh, there's a share button. Bear with me here, you guys. And share. So this was my my breakdown of, oh, it doesn't want to. Come on, there it is. Okay, so this was my breakdown of this workshop about the keys to telling your story. And they actually took it and put it into a what versus telling a what versus telling a why. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into it, if my computer wants to keep up with me. So these are some examples of what you might be doing if you're telling a what story. What stories might look like a picture with I just worked out, or a picture of you and your family or you and your team showing up someplace saying we have arrived. Another example of a what story is sharing a recipe that you tried and saying that was delicious. And then other things are like this just happened, dang, I'm a sweaty mess, or get in my belly. And I don't know about you guys, but I am so guilty of every single one of these, and not just in the beginning of my journey, actually throughout my journey of trying to share my story. So this was an example of me and a couple of my team members that were at Summit this year, and I just put, look out, Indianapolis team, everyone matters is in town. That's a prime example of a what. So I'm going to give you some examples. Actually, let me back up a minute. So just remember, when you're telling a what, share that in your stories of your social media rather than your big posting on your profiles and your platforms. So let's jump into examples of the why. So we talked about that what, I just worked out. What if we said instead the why, which could be I worked out because I'm tired of buying loose-fitting clothes and still feeling uncomfortable in my skin. I know with consistency I will get out of this funk of feeling this way. So right there, I totally turned a what into a why, and I probably attracted a few more people that were feeling the same way. So another what that we had was we have arrived. Well, where have you arrived? What are you doing? So we turn that into a why by saying we just arrived in Indianapolis to paint the town blue. Can't wait to close the streets down to do our Saturday morning workout, shop until we drop in our exclusive fitness fashion mall, and fill our cup with some amazing motivational speakers. Rachel Hollis. Maybe you've heard of her. For me, that was not only turned into a why, but it was also turned into an interactive posting, because a lot of my friends probably know who Rachel Hollis is, right? Girl, wash your face. All right, so another one of our whats was that was delicious. And you guys, let me raise your hand or whatever, and let me know if I'm kind of moving too quickly here. I'm a little nervous, so I'm probably going really fast here. But the what was, that was delicious. So instead of saying a picture with your food and saying that was delicious, which we could put in our story, instead, oh my God, who knew I would love this so much? This recipe I just tried from my new favorite cookbook that I got with my newest in-home program is getting all the thumbs up. Can't wait to try another one of these recipes. Healthier eating choices that taste good. My family never knew what hit them. So how many moms or I'm actually a mom of adult children, so they are kind of stuck in their taste buds and what they like and what they don't like to eat. So for me, this turning that what into this why actually made it so that I was relating to adult children moms. So remember, it's not always about the perfect picture either when we're turning into our why, or when we're telling our why story. This is an example of a picture that I took leaving one of my coaches at the gate of the airport when we left Indianapolis. And I'm a hot mess, she's a hot mess, but the picture had meaning behind it, and I told the meaning behind that. So remember, it's not always about the perfect picture. So let's jump into behind the scenes. You got to give a behind the scenes. And this one for me was super hard because being vulnerable, I just want to tell you what I'm doing and I want you to come to me and just say, yes, I'm on board. But unfortunately, when we don't tell behind the scenes and get vulnerable, people really don't relate to us. So don't just talk health, food, and fitness. Who are you beyond the workouts? Who are you beyond the healthier recipes? What do you love to do? Really wrap your head around that. What do you love to do? What are your hobbies? And what are those 5 things that you really want to be remembered for? So just keep in mind, being yourself is a pretty cool thing to call a job. That quote stuck out to me like there was no tomorrow when I took this class. So here for me, my 5 things is a wife. And this is a prime example of a what post. I posted a picture of my husband and I out to dinner and headed to the dirt track tonight. That's a prime example of a what post. It probably should have been on my story. Okay. A couple other things is I'm a mom to adult children and a Chihuahua. So this is an example of my interactive post. So I captured this picture with her tongue over her nose, and I said, let's caption it. And my friends jumped in that know that Rosie is my Chihuahua, and jumped in there. I'm going to move this over so that you guys can see this. Actually, I think I can. Perfect. Come on. There we go. Okay. And then finally, for those people that know me, I'm a cowgirl and also a coach. And I don't mean a coach in the sense of a Beachbody coach, a coach for things equestrian. So this is an example of me being in my arena and talking about being able to be there and why I'm there. Okay, so moving along, and like I said, hopefully I'm not moving too quickly for you. Remember to tell your story with a purpose. And I'm going to explain that because when somebody said that to me, I was totally like, I always explain it with a purpose, right? But our purpose isn't to sell something. Our purpose is to connect, right? Our purpose is to create that connection with somebody, to give them a solution. So remember when you're telling your story with a purpose to start where they are at, because we probably started where they were at. This is a department that I forget. I think that people want to hear my end story, right? Like, look how far I've come. But in reality, they need to be able to hear our beginning story so that they can relate and see and envision themselves in our now story. So here are some topic ideas. And remember, the topics need to be about the things that you most understand. So maybe you are the workout. Let's start with workouts. So for me, I am not able to tell you every single muscle group and bone in your body. However, I can tell you about your form and how it will affect your lower back, because I have this thing about throwing my lower back out all the time. And if my form's not perfect in a certain way, then then my back is going to be thrown out. So your before and after pictures is another great topic. And it doesn't have to be a before and after with this huge transformation. Maybe it's something in that you transformed your mind with. And struggles. Always talk about what you struggled with and how you overcame it. Your dreams and goals, paint a vision for people. Where are you headed? Maybe your favorite places to be. Maybe your homebody. You love the beach, mountains, hiking, shopping at the mall or the coffee shop. And what are some of your favorite things to do? Hunt, fish, camp, cook, maybe you like to shop, maybe it's family barbecues, maybe it's big vacations. So those are just some topic ideas. So always think about inspiring courage. So you inspire courage to people by telling your story. This one's good. Tell your story like you were talking to grandma. So grandma always wants to hear all about it, right? She doesn't want you to leave anything out. She's constantly asking more questions about what you did and who you were with. Think about that when you pick your topic and you put your story together and you share that with others. And remember to share authentically. Be beautifully you. This is so true. You authentically talk about you. That's your influence. That's your inspiration to share. And that's your vision to pass on to others. So again, if I move, so let's generate your story. And I'm going to give you just a little bit of time here as I go through these questions so that you can jot down. So if you don't have paper and pen right now, let me go through this and grab it right now so that we can kind of go through these. Pick your topic and of what you kind of want to talk about, and think about how these questions relate to that topic. So remember, he who has a why to live can bear almost any how. So why are you here? So take your topic and answer, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to set out to do with that? And what do you want to be a part of when it comes to that topic? What have you accomplished? What have you done, seen, felt since joining and becoming a Beachbody coach or joining a challenge group? Whatever your topic is, relate this question in there as well. Focus on the non-scale victories as well as the number victories. But remember, put feelings behind your accomplishments to relate to other people. And with your topic, where are you going? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with this opportunity with this topic? You know, and think of the big picture. Try to help paint that picture for somebody else when you're telling your story. So in blank years, months, or days, I see myself where? And then what would your life be like right now if you hadn't said yes to this opportunity? So if you hadn't chose what your topic is, how would it be different? You would still be where? You wouldn't be doing what? And you absolutely wouldn't be feeling this. So think about those things as you're going through it. And then what are you able to do now because you did say yes? You know, what is it that you were struggling with then versus how you overcame it now? And this just goes back to earlier when we talked about that. Remember, come from where they're coming from. Come from your beginning, and you're going to relate to your tribe by throwing out your vibe because they can totally understand that. So remember, you can go back to these questions for every single topic or person with those 5 things about yourself that you're talking to. You can totally relate and choose that person you want to talk to and answer these questions for them. Choose that topic you want to talk about and answer these questions for them. And remember, everybody has a story to tell. So now that I've given you the breakdown of how to tell your story, or the what's versus the whys, let's talk about the ways to share your story. So for me, social media can get crazy. Like, you want to get on Instagram and you want to get on Facebook and you want to do your stories. And right now I'm like a huge fan of TikTok. You know, you just want to go all these different directions. But let's talk about your social media posts. No matter where you're posting, here's the things that you're going to need. You're going to need a topic or a person that you're talking to. and you're gonna need a picture. So remember, if you're making a posting on your profile picture or your page or whatever it may be, that's completely different than making it on your story. So try to make those pictures fun, exciting, bright, and vivid, okay? And you're gonna need your why story. So this is a prime example of, I just took a quick snapshot of me thinking about people and always telling me that they're not motivated. So I threw a picture out there on my page and also added my 5 top tips for staying motivated. That's a great example of a why post. So you gave them something. These are my things that keep me motivated, and this is why I keep staying motivated. Your social media story here. So on your stories, remember, these are just quick snapshots of what you are giving to people throughout your day. So you're going to need a quick picture and a what story. So what are you doing right there in the moment? Here's an example of one that I threw up the other day. It was my before and after, and I talked about being able to lose the weight, but now I get to celebrate and teach others how to do it. Boom, end of story. Quick, easy, simple. So, and finally, oops, there we go. Your social media platforms. Utilize your interactive topics. Your choices of polls, quizzes, Q&As are available both on your pages and your stories. Utilize those. So here's an example for a posting on my page, on my Facebook page. Talks about weekend adventures. I actually stole this from Katie Loham. I love this, and I use this about every other week. It always gets great interactive. People love to share their pictures and what they did for the weekend. So this was a great idea. And then on my story, I actually was talking about foods and different things that people eat. So I'm like, hey, let's throw up a poll and check and see how many people like mayonnaise or how many people like pineapple on their pizza, you know, that kind of thing. So they're great interactive ways to start conversations. Oh, whoops. Okay, well, that wasn't supposed to be up there yet. So remember, a why story not shared does not inspire, does not motivate, it does not empower, it doesn't even serve, it doesn't impact, and it does not relate to anyone if you're not telling your why story. So let's go, be brave, show courage, share your story, and make a difference. And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, and how you leave others feeling after you have an experience, after having an experience with you, becomes your trademark. Whoops. So stop the share. I'm going to go ahead and everybody can unmute themselves. They're welcome to ask questions. I think that went pretty quickly. So anyway, I hope that this helps you go out and share your stories. And I hope that you can go back to this call and be able to use those questions and choose like 5 or 6 different topics to be able to break your story down and share that with others. So go out there and be brave today. If you don't have any questions, I'm actually going to end the call and jump in the shower and head to work. So is there any questions? No? All right. Well, thank you. It looks like Brooke and Stephanie are still here. Thank you, ladies. And thank you to Jessica for allowing me to chat with everybody this morning. I'll see you guys on the Fit and Fearless page. Bye, guys.